So I'd like to put this out there for all of us to talk about. Number one, maybe this might be a Dr. Hershey question, but the climate survey. At what point can we as board members get access to the survey itself?
The staff members have all received it, and the previous board received that information. That can be provided to you in a confidential setting. The board members did not take that information with them because we did promise the staff that it would be confidential, but certainly you can schedule an appointment with me to see that information.
Just a matter of, so there's no formal time or any place that we can get together and go through it? Just send it with you?
You could do it with me. We could also put that on one of our agendas for a workshop that is upcoming, if that's something that the board would like to do. Yep.
But I might be interested in something like that. Second part to that question is, I'd like to start having a discussion about giving the public access to the climate survey in its most comprehensive form possible, understanding that confidentiality and everything that comes along with that is maintained. But I think it's important at this point that this board, we could start with some sort of benchmark, some place to start for us to be, to use as a guide. So I'd like to have discussions. I don't know what the formalities of it are, but can we get it on an agenda to have a discussion about what that looks like so that we can provide this for the public?
It's definitely a board discussion, yep. So we can put it on for discussion in the future, or you can discuss it now, whatever you think.
I'd say rather sooner rather than later, to get access.
Do we feel as though it would be wise for the board to view it just so that before we are, I believe that we can share the results in an effective manner. I'm just wondering what it would look like for us to look at it, have an understanding of it before we would do that moving forward.
I think it would be probably wise for us to look at as a board, and then as where it's appropriate, share it with the community or the stakeholders, because I think that would help with the transparency. I've heard multiple people from differing sides voice their interest in that.
Yep, and that's what the board did before. After they looked at it as a group,
Right.
they decided that they were not going to release it, but certainly this board can do something different.
Yeah, I think it's an opportunity for the public to actually see what are some of the things that are going on. There may be things that they're surprised at. There may be things that we will have to recognize as shortcomings so that we can. In order to move forward, I think we have to recognize some of the shortcomings that we may have and work to address those things as well. So I agree with Dan. I like the idea of us getting the opportunity to take a look at it in whatever form that is, that we're allowed to take a look at it, and then start having discussions about, I don't know if it's some sort of presentation that we put together that we give to the community and then give them access to it. I know that we spent a lot of time in the last 6 months talking to the public, and there seems to be a genuine interest in knowing exactly some of the things that were on the climate change. And I think it's also important that teachers also recognize the idea that we're looking at it too, and we want to see where we need to get better. And I think that would be a good place for us to start. So whatever that looks like, I don't know what it looks like, but we can decide how we want that to go.
I think it would give us a good baseline where we're at. Warwick School District's a great school district, and I think that obviously we have areas of improvement. I think what Mrs. Mack said as far as like an approach of how we conduct ourselves is a good thing. So like kind of gives us a baseline. We have our mission statement that actually kind of gives us guidance of what we're aiming at, and then the approach of what we do would be really worthwhile. So I think that'd be great.
Yeah. But I'm sorry. I agree with what Emily is saying. I'm assuming that the rest of you have seen the ones that are on the city members. You've seen it.
Yes.
Okay, so the rest of us that haven't seen it yet would like the opportunity to, maybe we can talk about getting together at some point, what we can do. I'd like to do this sooner rather than later.
We'll have to find a time that works
Yeah,
for everyone.
absolutely.
I would just like to say that the sitting board did sit together and help us with a plan for a We've Heard You initiative that we have rolled out since the beginning of this school year. So we've made a bunch of changes based on some of that information that came in, both for support and professional staff. But there's still room to grow, and I would love for you all to see that information.
Can I ask a question? Okay, has the professional staff seen the?
Yes,
oh,
the
they've
entire
seen-
professional
entire-
and support staff have
Okay.
seen the results,
Okay.
yes.
They've seen the raw data.
Yes.
Oh.
There are, the board moved forward, we made a commitment to, confidence with teachers, and I think we would be wise to honor that,
Sure.
piece of information that we did provide them, and, just continue to move forward an effective relationship with our professional staff as well.
Because they participated voluntarily, correct?
Correct,
Okay.
yes. So they got the metadata, so the big themes and those pieces. They didn't see the individual writing that was filled in for the open-ended questions, yes.
Question on that, as far as you said there were some changes that you kind of implemented as a result of that, is that something we're able to access and see that?
Absolutely.
What that is?
Yes, we
Kind
kicked
of-
that off at the beginning of the school year.
Okay.
We did share it here in board presentations, but I can share that with you
I'd like
again.
to see that again, but then also
Absolutely.
like to have some of the other points as far as like seeing it, kind of digest it, think about it, and then kind of decide as how we kind of move forward, because I do think it's important for the community to see that.
Yep, we did present it, but I will absolutely provide that to you again.
Right, thank you.
Yes.
I'd be interested and propose that this would be a great workshop opportunity for the board to get together on whenever we can do that. So
Yeah, we're looking at
all
early
five of us are-
January to make that happen.
I'd like us to do that.
And who did the survey itself?
Survey was-
If I'm going too deep, we can pull back on it, but just curious, it just came to mind, is who was presented with who was presented with the survey itself?
Every single Warwick employee took the survey, but the survey was created by Franklin and Marshall
Yeah.
College.
So does that include, we're talking about different groups of
Yes.
so
All
professional
different, yes,
support,
yes.
okay,
Every single employee of the school district, over 500.
okay.
Did we get a percentage of participation within that total grouping?
Yes, I don't have that in front of me. I know Ms. Grossman has that information.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So you're saying that it was given to every single staff member, but not every single staff member
I
responded?
do not believe every single staff member responded, but I know we had a good result of the
Okay.
survey response. Yes.
Great question, Mr. Brown. Thanks for that. Anything else moving forward?